91.3. The Institute for Justice and Reconciliation has announced the convening of its annual Transitional Justice in Africa Fellowship Program. This will be held in Johannesburg and Cape Town, 21st of July, 8th of August. Every year, the Institute invites a small group of practitioners and scholars in the field of justice and reconciliation in Africa. Online to tell us more is Friederike Bubenzer, Project Manager of the Greater Horn Desk and the Fellowship Program. Friederike, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Friederike, what is happening this year in terms of the sort of the special event that takes place? What's going to be discussed?
So we've been running this program for the last 6 years, and really the purpose of it is to bring practitioners who are working on issues of justice and reconciliation in IJR's partner countries at the Great Lakes, the Great Horn, in Kenya, in Zimbabwe, to South Africa to stimulate debate and to exchange on issues of transitional justice in Cape Town and in Johannesburg. And so these practitioners, it's a group of 6. This year they'll be from South Sudan, Kenya, Burundi and Zimbabwe to South Africa. At the moment, in this particular moment, I'm actually standing at the Newtown Labour Museum, Workers' Museum. I'm actually standing in the showers of this terrible, terrible place which commemorates migrant worker conditions in the apartheid days. And really the purpose of our last 2 days, we visited Constitution Hill, we visited Freedom Park, the Voortrekker Monument, is to have a conversation with these individuals, most of whom are long-standing partners of the Institute, about how South Africa is memorializing its past, how we are choosing to remember that which has happened for the purpose of our children, of future generations, of those who suffered during apartheid and so forth. And at the same time also to learn from individuals from these countries, what efforts have been happening in their countries. Of course, there is a lot of criticism. We had a conversation with one of the lawyers of Marikana yesterday. So it's very much a holistic look at where South Africa is at in terms of its post-1994 experience.
You mentioned that you've got people coming in from other parts of Africa. Can one assume then that the information flow kind of like goes both ways? We learn from their experiences and maybe they'll learn from ours too?
Yeah, absolutely. I think having spent the last 2 days in Johannesburg, I feel I'm quite a proud South African in that there have been some really remarkable memorialization efforts in the forms of museums and monuments. But absolutely, I think the Kenyans have, in the form of the National Cohesion and Integration Commission and in various other initiatives, undergone very similar processes in terms of bringing people together, stimulating dialogue and so forth. I think South Sudan has a little longer to go before we can say that we'll be learning much from them. But of course, this stimulates conversation. And this prompts us to look at what we've done successfully, what we haven't done successfully. And it's really all about a conversation about our sort of united and common African identity and heritage.
Friederike, do you think it's absolutely critical that we have these kinds of dialogues, these kinds of platforms where people are obviously interacting without political interference, without ideological interference, where they can basically address the issues without having to worry too much about the accompanying baggage?
Yes, absolutely. And I think, that's the beauty of this program in a sense is that it is quite intimate. It's a small group of individuals, all very influential. We have the Burundian Deputy Chair of the Human Rights Commission. We have a senior official from the National Cohesion and Integration Commission in Kenya, an ex-Human Rights Chair from Kenya, and it's wonderful, to be able to sit around the dinner table after a long day of visiting memorials and sites and really critically reflect on where we are as a continent in terms of remembering that which has gone before. So absolutely, we agreed on Chatham House rules when the conversations get particularly heated and steamed.
All right.
But for the rest, we've had some really good conversations.
Friederike, our final question: what comes out of the Transitional Justice in Africa Fellowship Program? Do you issue a research paper, a summary? So people who may not be at the fellowship program can benefit as well, not just in South Africa but in all the other countries.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the partnership exists with all the individuals, and there'll be a report at the end of the program. All of the fellows are encouraged to write for the local media in the time that they're here, and we will document the process quite intensively. So people who are interested in the program can happily contact me, but can also visit our website for a lot more information on the fellowship, including policy briefs and working papers that have come out of the program in the past.
Friederike Bubenzer, Senior Project Manager for the Transitional Justice in Africa Fellowship Program and the Greater Horn Desk as well. Thanks for chatting to us. She's from the Institute for Justice and Reconciliation, and we look forward to seeing what comes out of this year's fellowship program. Everything of the best.
Thank you so much.